I think there's a chance that we could see a surprisingly good outcome here if the majority of the countries there hold on to their convictions and demand to phase out of fossil fuels. I'm hoping.
For people who are not familiar with this conference, can you explain why on earth a climate conference would be held in a major oil-producing country to begin with?
Well, it's kind of ridiculous. It should not be, although it's not so much that it's in a country that produces oil. It's the appointment of the CEO of one of the biggest and least responsible oil companies on the planet to be the head of the conference. The scientists who've been spot on and dead right in their past predictions, we've seen it play out. We need to give them careful attention to what they're saying would happen if we don't phase out fossil fuels. So we've got to do it, and I'm hopeful that this time we will really finally see some meaningful action. You know, there's a mental health crisis around the world, Jake, that we hear people talking about. I think that one of the main reasons for that is that young people look at the fact that we are not yet solving the climate crisis or dealing with some of these other challenges. And we hear this word thrown around, polycrisis. Well, solving the climate crisis is a poly solution. We know what to do. We have the means to do it. And we have to make sure that we make the right political choices in our democracy to enable ourselves to make the right choices. The scientists who've been spot on and dead right in their past predictions.
There is a 75% chance that the entire North Polar ice cap during some of the summer months could be completely ice-free within the next 5 to 7 years.
I think we'd have to think about moving someplace else.
Move where? The brutal buffalo winter might become common all over the United States. Climate experts believe the next ice age is on its way. According to recent evidence, it could come sooner than anyone had expected. At weather stations in the far north, temperatures have been dropping for 30 years. Seacoasts long free of summer ice are now blocked year-round. According to some climatologists, within a lifetime, we might be living in the next ice age.
I mean, one of the young leaders was talking to me about climate mental health. I said, tell me what's going on with your peers. Climate mental health. And she talked, I said, I think I understand that, but unpack it for me. And she talked about how her peers are thinking about it. One example is, you know, whether when they're ready, could they start a family? Yes. Worried about what that would mean. And the stress of it. They were talking about it in terms of their peers trying to figure out, you know, they're going to have to get a job and they're going to have to make a living, but what can they do and how can they adapt the education that they're having now to their activism?
And you should stay up all night, every night, crying when we're all 100% for sure going to die.